It is time now for the Peter Chell New News Report on this Monday afternoon, February 15th, 2016. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Peter Wiggins. I am New News the Lines here on this Monday afternoon here. And our top story here at 12 noon here on this Monday afternoon here is the unexpected death of conservative Supreme Court Justice Anton Scalia this weekend has wide-ranging implications raises numerous complicated questions. A man by with at least 23 civilians were killed when missiles hit 3 hospitals and a school in Rebel Hill towns. In Syria on Monday, residents said as Russia-backed Syrian troops intensified their push toward the rebel stronghold of Aleppo. New York police are investigating an incident in a Manhattan hotel in which a woman said she was assaulted by former Governor Elliot Spitzer, although she declined to press charges, police said. Those on the U.S. East Coast are hoping for a break for the record-setting low temperatures over the weekend will get the wish. Unfortunately, that wish for more weather will be accompanied by rain, sleeting, snow. Jerusalem, Israel's former Prime Minister Iyad Ahmed started serving a 19-month prison sentence for robbery and obstruction of justice on Monday, becoming the first Israeli premier to be in prison and kept in a years-long legal saga. Russian warplanes are being blamed for carrying out what is being called a deliberate attack on 2 makeshift hospitals in northern Syria Monday that left several people killed and wounded and at least 8 staff members presumed dead. Sunday, Australian law enforcement agencies discovered $9 million worth of Philippine hidden in imported boxes at Silicon Bar and certain out supplies in countries. Largest haul of illicit drug abuse liquid form, officials said on Monday. Kampala, Uganda. Ugandan police fired tear gas and rubber bullets to break up a crowd of opposition supporters and briefly arrested a leader opposition candidate on Monday, raising tensions ahead of elections widely seen as close. Harare, Zimbabwe. Zimbabwean and aviation authorities abandoned the U.S. registered cargo jet, a senior official said Monday after a dead body later believed to be a stowaway and millions of South African men were found on board. In Seoul, email messages sent from the North Korea were made to appearances dated were sent from the South Korean president office. Brussels, Belgium, continuing the process that started in 2008. Bosnia has agreed to submit their application to join the 28th European Union. In Seoul, a senior South Korean official is taking criticism after backtracking an earlier statement regarding the reapportionment of the Kaesong factory wages. The University of Missouri assistant professor who faced nationwide attention and suspension from her teaching job at the November confrontation with a student journalist in more hot water as she seen in the video cursing at a cop. Mount St. Mary University of Maryland is in turmoil with the leadership when a newly elected vote by partly called on President Simon Newman resigned by Monday morning, and some of his supporters are planning to rally Monday morning to counter that. Albany, New York. A military officer says it's time to find where scores of Maryland soldiers are buried in New York City so a monument can be erected in honor of their sacrifice during the Revolutionary War's Battle of Brooklyn tour 40 years ago this summer. Syracuse, New York. The Andalusia County Sheriff's Department is investigating the death of a 19-year-old community college student whose body was found outside in sub-zero cold. London. Washington, Jeb Bush had to answer for the appointments of Supreme Court Justice David Souter and Chief Justice John Roberts, conservatives who made liberal rulings. An Albuquerque airport resumed normal operations after an explosive device was found attached to a rental car. Flint, Michigan. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's visit to Flint, Michigan at the New Hampshire primary had paid off in endorsements from community leaders. London. Oil rose on Monday, extended the rally triggered last week by speculation that OPEC might agree to cut production as windows as supply cut that has pushed prices to lowest in over a decade. London. World stocks rose sharply on Monday as China's central bank fixed the yuan at a much stronger way than oil cement and raised against the easy fears of global inflation. The brakes are on, slowing the downhill ride of gas prices we have been enjoying in the past several months. Unfortunately, the drop in cost of wholesale gasoline, also known as RBOB, prompted production cuts at oil refineries. Tokyo, when Prime Minister Shinzo Abe of Japan began a campaign 3 years ago to turn around its country's economy, he aimed at areas as varied as tax, trade, and women in the workplace. Washington, a Pakistan request to procure F-16 fighters from the United States in a deal worth an estimated $699 million has received U.S. State Department approval. New York Lego showed heavy emphasis on Star Wars building, sets among a number of movie and game times at the New York Toy Fair. On February 11th, scientists announced the discovery of gravitational waves, ripples in the fabric of space and time produced by a collision of 2 black holes and 30 times more massive than the sun. Scientists have reconstructed what wasps would see when they leave the nest, what they may reveal how these insects find their way back home at the end of the day. A segment of 4 billion people may be facing water scarcity. A new study shows that every 3 people on our planet simply do not have enough water to meet those basic needs. Washington, do not let its beautiful, newly edified, and exquisitely preserved flower found in the turbid ever fossilized tree sap may have packed quite a punch. In Calcutta, Colombia, Margarita Rosa Burst was 6 weeks pregnant when she began to feel the symptoms that every expected of her becoming a dread, swollen eyes, aching joints, and 3 days of fever. Zika virus, Colombia president's complicated choice about abortion. Declared that whether the urban turban fields could pose a serious threat to players by raising the risk of cancer. The Obama administration has hired 3 federal agencies to investigate the link. In Spanish, mosquito translates to the little net, but its impact history has been far from minuscule. And just the most recent example of mosquitoes has spreading the Zika virus throughout the South and Central America, causing increased evidence. Some incidents. Moscow, Geneva, Russia has registered its first case of the person infected with the Zika virus and a tourist contracted the disease in the Dominican Republic. Russia, the health minister Veronika Shrovska said on Monday. Okay, take a look at New England Insular here at 12:06 p.m. in Manchester, New Fire 3 at 500 Willow Street. First student track report identification as a 1-story, 2 and about 1 on commercial structure. OIC reported workers on pipes and out of neutral crews pulling the ceiling and bathroom as a precaution. In Douglas, Massachusetts, work and fire. Ritchie Road, crews work at a fire in an unknown size residential structure. NFI attempt GB car 01. Lawrence, Massachusetts, a worker fired 17 places in Terrace UD car 21 reported fires. Knocked down at attempt to cruise over Holland. Peter Challenger's on 12:06 on this Monday afternoon here. It's time to have a sports report. The Bruins and the Celtics have denied off, but the Norton Lancers boys ice hockey team will be at Foxborough Sports Center taking on the Foxborough Warriors here in Toronto. So we need to talk about weather because it's anyone talking about it this weekend. It's so cold you see really cold as the NBA is ready for the end of Kobe Bryant. Footage of the former Baltimore Ravens running back Ray West attacking his fiancée inside Atlantic City casino elevator cost TMZ well into 6 figures, according to New Yorker. And recent town on lawsuit filed against the University of Tennessee. Multiple Janesville plaintiffs alleged the university created hostile sexual environment favoring student athletes. Pebble Beach, California. That's Phil Mickelson, second place finish won't linger for long. Pierre Challenger's time is out 12:07 p.m. on this Monday afternoon here. It's time to have a travel report here. Let's start off down in Rhode Island here, where all the highways in the Providence area are looking very good here. East Bay bridges are looking good on the Jamestown, Newport, and Mano bridges here. Route 78 in the eastbound side. The Lowes and Route 1 in Westerly, Rhode Island here. Down in southeastern Massachusetts here is looking good on highways, byways in southeastern Massachusetts. Route 6 is looking good from Sagamore down to Orleans. Bourne Bridge is looking good here. Route 2 in the eastbound side. A little over the exit stretch route. Route 111 here. 495 in the northbound side connected up. Route 28 in Andover, so expect some delays here. 93 in the northbound side. It's a little slow before around Route 128 in Redden, so expect a few delays here. 93 in the southbound side connected around Route 28 in Sunham, so expect some delays here. And Worcester highways are looking good here. 91 in the southbound side, a little slow from Chicopee to 291 in Springfield, so expect some delays here. Mass Pike is looking good from Stockbridge all the way to Boston here. Out in Connecticut here. I-91 in the southbound side, a little slow on I-84 in Hartford, Connecticut here. Route 15 on the northbound side, a little slow over the Sanford stretch. 15 on the southbound side, Accident in Westport, Connecticut, so expect some delays here. Out in New York City, highways, Long Island Expressway is slow from 25B all the way out to Brooklyn here. Eastbound side of Long Island Expressway, it is slow. Grand Central Park, good accident on Long Island Expressway in Queens, so expect some delays here. 278 on the northbound side, it is slow from Brooklyn to Long Island Expressway. Long Island Expressway, it is slow to win. Accident 278 on the westbound side from 495 west, so expect some delays here. Lincoln Tunnel on the westbound side, it is slow. Mid 495 tunnel from Midtown Manhattan to Brooklyn, it's a little slow here. 278 on it. Eastbound side, it is slow from Brooklyn all the way at the Long Island Expressway. Fairlands and Earls Bridge, it is slow here. 95 on the southbound side, is slow from 278 all the way at the George Washington Bridge. I-87 on the northbound side, a little slow after the Route 95 in Manhattan in New York City here. 78 on the eastbound side, a little slow for Holland Tunnel in New York City here. Up in New York State, we got an accident 97 on the northbound side in Queensbury here around Route 149, so expect some delays here. All the highways in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse are looking good here. And I-91 and I-89, the southbound side is also in Vermont from the Canadian border here. But Vermont, New Hampshire, main highways are looking good here. Okay, look at it. MBTA alerts at 12:10 here. Ferries are looking good here. Greenland, Sea Branch, Christian, minor westbound delays due to an early disabled train at Washington Street Station here. And on the commuter rail, Worcester train 1505, 10:40 a.m. Outbound is operating 10-15 minutes behind schedule. Between Nate, Dick, and Worcester due to late train traffic. Franklin Line, train 7207 and 1120 from South Station is operating 10-15 minutes late between Windsor Garden and Forge Park. And ferries are looking good. Peter Chaladusam, now 12:11 on this Monday afternoon, President's Day afternoon here, and it is time now for a weather report here. Okay, look at the radar situation here. And it shows some spotty snow showers from western Rhode Island and southern Rhode Island, from westerly stretching down to eastern Connecticut and north of Hartford and stretching on west to Worcester down for Springfield and then Masspike and in Albany and stretch over the southern and central ports of Vermont down from western New Hampshire and Keene, New Hampshire here. And another batch of the snow showers northeast of North Milford and south of Torrington and northwest of Waterbury, Connecticut here. And patchy snow showers around Hamden and New Haven and northwest of Hamden, New Haven, and Nimmo to Bridgeport here. Seeing some spotty snow showers around central and western portions of Long Island here. And zooming out a little bit, seeing some spotty snow showers from Trenton stretching down for Delaware, Maryland, Baltimore, Washington corridor, and seeing some snow and sleeting from southern Virginia down for North Carolina here. And timing and do a little timing on where the storm is going to head here. It's going to be in New York City by about 2:38, and then it's going to be in the Connecticut coast, then around the South Coast New England by about 4:44, and then into eastern Massachusetts by about 6:50 p.m. and 9:03 p.m. And it's going to turn to rain by about late 11 o'clock here, and it's going to head up north, and we can see a couple patches of rain showers by tomorrow here. Alright, we are under a winter weather advisory in effect here. From 4 p.m. this afternoon to 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, locations with eastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island hazard types, including some snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Accumulation snow accumulation up to 1 inch, along with a trace to a few hundredths of an inch in ice accretion. Time and snow will spread the region between 4 and 8 p.m. This evening, snow will transition to a period of sleet and freezing rain by late evening. Then finally, it will rain shortly after midnight. Cold road surfaces will quickly become slippery this evening as snow, then a period of sleet and freezing rain will spread the region. Then temperatures will rise about freezing after midnight in the most locations, even though the ground temperatures will be warm after freezing. Warmer above freezing, ground temperature will be below freezing, thereby contributing an hour or two of more icy conditions as a winter weather advisory is issued when snow and ice is forecast development in the affected areas. But accumulations are expected to be like any snow and ice will be resulting in slippery conditions on untreated roadways and sidewalks. When temperatures are below freezing, motorists need to be especially careful on bridges and overpasses where slippery spots can easily develop here. And high wind watch remains in effect from Tuesday afternoon for Tuesday evening location much of eastern Massachusetts, including Cape Cod and Islands as well as southern around here. Winds stop 20 to 30 miles potential for a brief period of 56 mile wind gusts. Timing the strongest of the winds are expected to occur late Tuesday afternoon evening along with a bit of moderate to heavy rain, possibly some embedded thunder. Impacts the potential of a brief period of damaging wind gusts and strong wind gusts through mid-south. Potential exists for some downed trees and power lines. High wind watch means that potential exists for strong damaging winds developing in mentioned areas. These strong winds are capable of downing trees and power lines as well as causing property damage if high wind warnings should stay inside and away from windows. Day 1 to day 9, with a weather as we day 2 to 7, Tuesday for Sunday, high wind watch. Okay, 7-day forecast goes like this. Today, a chance of 12 to 5 p.m. Mostly clouds. How about 29 degrees? South about 3 to 6 miles at just base to 30%. Little no scuba should expect tonight. Still in sleep like before 9 p.m. Then freeze rain, possibly mixed with sleep between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. Then rain after 11 p.m. Areas of fog after 9 p.m. Temperature rises around 44 degrees by 5 a.m. South about 5 to 7 miles at just base to 9%. New snow sleet accumulation less than 1 inch possible. Tuesday, rain with thunderstorms also possible until 4 p.m. Some storms with a semi-rainfall. Areas of fog before 3 p.m. Then areas of fog after 4 p.m. 158 degrees. South at about 8 to 18 miles to 40 about 5 miles at just base is 1%. New rainfall about 3 to half 3/4 inch possible. Tuesday, showers of thunderstorms light before 11 p.m. Then a slight chance of showers between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. Areas of fog before 7 p.m. Otherwise, clouds are gradually becoming podcast low at 35 degrees and breeze with a south at about 16 and 21 miles coming southwest with 8 to 30 miles at 3 minutes. Winds can gust as 50 miles at just base with 6%. New 50 miles 3.25 inch possible. Wednesday, both sides got about 46 degrees. West about 7 miles an hour. Wednesday night, podcast got about 27 degrees. Thursday, both sides got about 38 about 19 degrees. Friday, both sides got about 38 degrees. Friday night, chance of snow showers at 10 p.m. Blitz rain after 2 a.m. Both sides got about 30 degrees at just base with 40%. Saturday, chance of showers. Both sides got about 50 about 33 degrees at just base with 40%. And for Sunday, both sides got about 48 degrees. Currently here, not near, it is. Brooklyn clouds at 20 degrees, humidity 35%. And that is going to be it for the Peter Channel. New news report on this February 15th, 2016 on a Monday afternoon. People, you have a good afternoon. Goodbye today. I'll see you at 5 o'clock for a 5 o'clock report. Have a good afternoon here.